Hey everyone, it's the Nitty Professor. I'm going to call this video All the Yarn I Do Not Need, but Definitely Still Love. So, we're all familiar with what it means to have a stash. And I'm going to take a nostalgic look back at a few yarn purchases that are waiting in the wings to figure out what their role is going to be on the stage of my fiber crafting. So, we'll start with these curious skeins. This is a really interesting yarn. I'd be curious if any of you have experience. So I'll just call it Unisono. I suppose if you were to buy this in Germany, you might call it Unisono. So some of you might be familiar with this yarn. I found it in Watertown at a store that has since gone out of business. It was a really eclectic yarn store. They used to have a booth at the Fiber Festival that takes place down in Watertown every September. So it's 100% virgin wool superwash, and it is infused with aloe vera and I think it's pronounced jojoba oil. I'm guessing in the pronunciation. Do I know Spanish? I do not. Hungarian? I'm good. Spanish? Not so much. But this is, I would call it a sport weight that says Needlestärke 3 bis 3,5 millimeter. I think that's sport weight, but I'm not sure if it's maybe supposed to be DK. In any case, it's like stringy. It's really interesting. So I was intrigued when I picked it up. Wasn't expensive. It has a very different kind of hand to it. I think there are a couple places on there where I'm like, that's interesting how it's spun. Because you can kind of feel the lotiony-ness of it. It's made in Germany, I believe. Yes. Atelier Citron Wickede. Wickede. Not a town I've heard of. But, as you can imagine, when I saw these colors, I was like, yes, you're mine. So I picked it up. Now, I still don't know what the end is going to be of this yarn. I've got 4 skeins. And I have things I haven't tried. I have, for example, books with the amigurumi or knitted type animals and stuff like that. There are things I haven't tried. Like, it'd be cute to do knitted birds with these, right? Use some of those recipes from Arna and Carlos with really vibrant colors to make fantasy birds. So I love this yarn, and I'm not about to let it go. It's just, like I say, the script has not yet been written for these babies. So we'll see what comes of that. A couple of beautiful, beautiful skeins. So this I got at a fiber festival. And I hope you can tell how red it is. I would consider it kind of a blood red, but if you want to argue to me that it's a rust brown, go ahead. And of course, my wall is pink, right? Everything looks red. So this is Corriedale, and I'm gonna assume it's hand dyed. It just says the color is blood, and the brand is Purveyor of Fine Yarns. So it was probably someone with a small self-employment type business who did this beautiful yarn. And it's in contrast to what I was just holding up, the hand on this. This is just fantastic wool. I should frankly look up Corriedale and look at like the staple length and the quality, but I'm just in love with the skein. Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. It's been several years since I bought it, but it would be a beautiful hat. Like if I had a red mohair to go with it, or even a white mohair, would look really cool. It would be a fantastic hat. It would make a nice sweater. I like the idea of making a hat with it. I could probably make a couple hats. This is a thick baby. And this one is very similar. This one's unlabeled, and I don't know if it's, it looks so similar, just the quality of it. So I can't tell you if this is Corriedale or not, this mauve color. But again, it's just a wonderful wool. It strikes me as being hand dyed. I can't prove it, right? But it's got some interesting sort of variegations in the color with some hints of a darker hue in there. And it's just gorgeous. It's a beautiful skein. And of course, when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy that. It's an incredible color and an incredible wool. So maybe another hat, maybe, you know, my sister, should say my daughter, sometimes I get them confused. They say there's a relative spot in your brain, and I sometimes confuse sons and sisters. It's crazy. In any case, not sons, daughters. Yeah, I could see a mother-daughter kind of, you know, thing going on. I did give Darren the scarf, the colorful scarf I had made recently in that kind of lace. She was thrilled, and I'm like, I'm going to make me one too, and she was pretty happy about that. Here's something similar that I couldn't resist. Of course, it's Noro, but this is not the usual makeup of Noro that I buy. So I found this at a shop in Georgia, or as John Ossoff would say, Georgia. I really enjoy his accent. Madara is the, I guess, is that the color or the kind? Sometimes I get confused with the way Noro labels stuff. I'll show it to you and you can tell me. In any case, this has some silk in it, some alpaca, and then it's 60% wool. So that's the makeup of it there. And I thought, well, again, the color is just fantastic. It's interesting, like if you hold these three up together, you can see the vibrancy of the red in the middle versus the sort of blood red on the right, and then this purpley red on the left. Really great colors here. But this again, you know, and I think when I bought it, I was like, a hat, you know. And it would be a really nice hat to make out of this. It would probably have an interesting kind of drape to it, you know, because it has the silk and the alpaca. But so far, it's just sort of living and just hanging out with its lavender soap and its enclosed bucket until its starring role is revealed. Now here is a really interesting skein of yarn. One of those, again, impulse purchases, I'm supporting whoever sold it type of thing. So there used to be, now they're gone. There used to be a booth at the local flea market where magically fiber and really interesting yarn would show up. And I never could figure out who was bringing it. I want to say this is hand spun. I mean, I'm just kind of looking at this end here and it looks like it's a 2-ply. It's just a wonderful, robust wool. Again, it's a cool color. In fact, these two would kind of harmonize a little bit. The thing is, this is like an Aran weight here. This is definitely worsted. But it's almost bulky. This is a pretty heavyweight yarn. Would make a nice scarf, I think. Tell me what you think. I kind of feel like it has maybe some mohair mixed in with it. In fact, the booth where I got it, they would often have bags of mohair fiber available. I bought a couple. Haven't spun mohair yet, but that's, you know, it's going to come because it's there. And I've been trying to start spinning through my my fiber collection. So yeah, no idea what this is going to become, but this is quite the wool. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep cogitating on the magical role that this will star in. Not sure yet, but it's pretty fun. It's just fun to hold. Let's just be honest. It's just really nice. I have gotten over the years a few skeins of Peace Fleece, and to be honest, when I picked this up, I was like, ooh, that would look good in a sweater. Yeah. All yarn would look good in a sweater, right? So now it's both neutral, like a neutral color, and somehow unique. I mean, it's not like your average neutral. It's not like a cream or a beige. It's got, you know, it's got some little ticks there of a bit of green, a bit of gold. It's not a totally neutral color, and yet it is kind of neutral-y. Now this is again, it's got mohair mixed in, 75% merino, 25% mohair. It says warm wool from a cold war, but I have a feeling this is not necessarily incorporating the Soviet wool in it. The colorway is tundra. And I'm not finding on this label the exact origins. You know, some of them would deliberately combine Cold War, you know, like communist country wool with liberal democracy wool. This just, all it says on here is Rino Mira. I guess that's how you say it. Porter, Maine. And for all I know, Rino Mira means peace fleece. That's my interpretation of the Cyrillic there, based on having studied, you guessed it, Bulgarian. Which I can kind of sort of read. No idea. I don't know. And this is definitely, it's a heavy worsted. This is a heavier weight yarn, for example, than the mauve. Not that it would matter, like if I did a scarf or something like that. So again, I don't know, but I do like it, and it's not going anywhere right now. We will see. Now here's a skein, which, I mean, Cascade 220 Superwash Sport. This is a leftover skein from my Dove sweater that I made, with the Mervyn going across. The blue and blue one. It's not my favorite yarn, but the reason I keep it is because I think, well, wouldn't it be cool to make a hat to go along with the sweater? And yes, it would be cool. And since I have this, it's a possibility. So, and I'm pretty sure that somewhere in my stash, I have something left over from the teal color. So that's why I keep it. It's a fun color. I'm not a huge fan of the Superwash Cascade, but you know, it has served me well enough for making that fancy sweater. Here's some wool. For a while I was following Vicky. Now I've forgotten her last name, but she was like, she's this big turquoise. I think, I don't know, I might still occasionally get a email from her twice a year. Vicky something. Loves turquoise, and she had this special from Woolen Women Fibers that they dyed some of their sort of zebra stripe with this turquoise. And this is billed as a DK, which to me, it strikes me as a worsted. So I don't know, I'd probably put it somewhere between the two. I mean, if I hold up this skein and, well, again, to me, these weights are close. They're pretty close. So this is definitely worsted. I would say this is borderline. In any case, 100% Peruvian Highland wool. It's dyed really cool. It's called The Real Teal by Woolen Women Fibers. And I have 2 skeins of it because I thought I wouldn't want to run out when I'm making that gorgeous hat, right? And of course, how many hats have I already made? So I'm going to have to start making hats and giving them away. Or else, like, maybe just cycling through, you know, like, I don't know, find a home for last year's hat. I don't know. But, you know, it's fun to knit. And it's almost, it's sort of a psychological necessity, especially when you think about the circus that's going to happen tonight on TV. We don't need to go there, but you know what I'm talking about. My TV's going to be off tonight, folks. Yeah, I love it. I love the color. It's beautiful. It smells like lavender soap. And it's going to be something. Someday, it's going to be something. Here's another skein I bought. This was with a package that came with these Murder in the Scottish Whatever series. I got this from the Woolly Thistle. And I thought, well, that's a kind of a cool gift set. You know, there's a neutral colored skein that goes with this. Making Tracks Junction Fiber Mill. 100% American wool. This color is called Carnival. And again, I think it's billed as a DK. But I don't know. To me, that's worsted. But it is a lot of fun. And again, you know, so I have these kind of like specimen skeins. Like we have a specimen plant, so I have specimen skeins. Been thinking about plants a lot lately because book 8 has a lot of gardening stuff in it. And book 10, I've been talking to some of my church friends about braiding sweetgrass and how I want to like internalize her philosophy about reciprocity in nature, and I really want to incorporate that into novels moving forward that have the garden center in addition to the yarn store. So yeah, I've been thinking about plants a lot. So if we can have specimen plants, we can have specimen skeins, and that's what this baby is, and it's really cool. And I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be something nice, maybe I don't know, mittens. Be fun to make mittens with this and the neutral colored one. Now here are 3 skeins. I must have bought them, I don't know, 5 years ago. A lot of times I would be traveling, I'd go into a yarn store, I'm like, I already have this, I already have that, what could I use? Like another skein of sock wool, and now I have like, 30 unknit skeins of sock wool. So the last time I was in the yarn store, I was like, well, I'm going to look at the sock yarn, but it would have to really just inspire me to make me buy it now because I have so many, and I didn't buy one. But I did buy this in Bozeman at the store whose name I forgot because that's the way I am. And unfortunately, the name of the store isn't on here. However, you might recognize this brand, Shepherd's Wool from Stonehenge Fiber Mill in Michigan. I like buying American wool. I like buying local. I got the color Blue Jay, the color Storm, and the color, it's fun to name these, Apple Blossom. Now these would go together well in a beautiful scarf. Even if it was just striped, it would be really neat and could, maybe do some cables or something like that. They are billed as a number 4 worsted weight, but again, if this is 4 worsted and this is deep, how are these different? They look the same weight to me, but I don't think they go together. That would be weird. So yeah, I love barber poling. And these are clearly triple plied because they've got, 3 colors here. We have white, pink, and red. Here we have blue and white and kind of a sort of a gray blue in there, a light, almost a denim. And this has just the black and gray, but they're beautiful and so soft. They remind me of Feederbrook Farms, the way that they feel. Beautiful skeins. So now let's get to a bucket. Yeah, I've been scheming. So I'm very good at scheming about knitting. And then sometimes I'm like, nothing is more delightful as a gift. Look out, dogs. Than getting a skein of yarn. It's like that, moment of euphoria. Yes, I got squishy mail. So on the one hand, some of you are already aware that I got this pattern for Neville's sweater. And it is a hoodie. I've been wanting to make a hoodie for, guess what, years. Haven't done it yet. At some point, I'm young yet, right? I will do it. And I got all the yarn. I have all this. I've even balled some of it up. So we have also a ball that's already made into a ball. We've got red, white, and blue. Because guess what? I am patriotic. And this is from Cloudborne. It's a really nice wool. It was not expensive. It's called Highland Worsted. And again, if this is worsted, I'm a monkey's uncle. But that's what it's called. I feel like it's a DK. But I might have to do like the pencil wrap stitches per inch, rounds per inch. But in any case, yeah, I've got all the yarn. And that's half of this bucket. And the other half was, well, for a while I was really taken with Malabrigo. And some of us love their colors. I've heard that you want to be careful how you treat it, how you wear it, because the colors are not like always color fast, but they are very accessible price-wise, and they're also very tempting. So I'll hold some of them up here. We have magenta. And these two would go together really well. That's a really pretty combination. This one is called chameleon. Chameleon. Maybe it's a Spanish word for chameleon. I don't know. Like I say, do I know Spanish? I do not know Spanish. Uh-oh. My blood skein fell on the floor. It's going to get Ari's fur on it. Let's see what else we have. I've got a whole collection here. Winter Lake. And, my thought was, well, I could do a striped sweater, and that would look really cool. And it would go with everything, because this is Almond Blossom, because there's such a variety of colors here to pick from and to combine. Then we have Cucumber. And this yarn, it's superwash. I mean, it's really squishy and soft, and it's kind of like holding up a A stuffed animal. Ravelry Red. They must be in cahoots with Ravelry. And Wales Road. It's a beautiful blue. And again, I already wound up a couple skeins. I wound up this one. Not sure what it's called, but there you go. It's ready to go. And I have a couple of others that I probably already decided I was going to knit them into something, and I made a scarf, which is what happened to these. These turned into a scarf, and it's a beautiful scarf, and I actually love wearing it. So yeah. Oh, and here's a light gray one. This is called Cape Cod Gray. Cape Cod Gray. Pretty stuff. Pretty stuff. So, yeah, I'm sure I'm not alone. You know, we get ambitious. Do I have more? I have more. Yeah, I have aguas. Aguas. I mean, I think this is more than enough for a sweater. In fact, it looks like I have 2 of those. Yep, I have 2 of those. Got some of this in Omaha. Some is from Atlanta. It's a very nice collection of Monobrigo. So that's what we're dealing with, and if you can relate, which I'm guessing you can, I would love for you to share your story and share your, you know, like maybe you came up with some cool things that you did with some of your specimen yarn, like this really heavy hand spun. I don't know, it's a beautiful yarn skein. I had to have it. So yeah, send me some inspiration. It's not like I don't have, you know, enough projects to work on for the moment, but I finish them. I really do. I finish them. You've seen some of them and they're done. So you know I'm capable of it. And this yarn is too beautiful to not get crafted into something else beautiful. So yeah, share your stories, share your suggestions. I hope y'all have a wonderful end of your weekend coming up, and that you're not smoky and not hot. I dream big. Y'all take care. Bye.